Have you ever wondered who the Canaanites truly were? For thousands of years, their name has echoed through the pages of the Bible as the mysterious rivals of God's chosen people. But beyond the stories of conquest and divine punishment lies a civilization shrouded in myth, fear, and spiritual tension. The Canaanites were not just another ancient tribe. They were a people whose gods, rituals, and beliefs stood in direct opposition to the faith of Israel. Long before the Israelites set foot in the Promised Land, the Canaanites ruled the fertile plains and cities of what we now call the Levant. Their culture was advanced, their temples magnificent, and their religion powerful, yet terrifying. They worshiped many gods, each demanding devotion through rituals that often involved blood, fire, and sacrifice. To outsiders, these acts were horrifying. To the Canaanites, they were sacred duties to please forces they believed controlled rain, harvest, and life itself. According to the book of Genesis, their story began after the Great Flood. Canaan, the son of Ham and grandson of Noah, carried a curse that would define his descendants for generations. When Ham dishonored his father, Noah declared, "Cursed be Canaan. A servant of servants shall he be to his brothers." That ancient curse, born out of shame and disobedience, cast a long shadow over Canaan's lineage. The Israelites believed that their conquest of Canaan centuries later was not just a war, it was the unfolding of that divine judgment. When the Israelites, led by Joshua, crossed the Jordan River, they entered a land already filled with mighty nations. The Canaanites were strong, organized, and deeply religious. Their faith revolved around powerful deities such as Baal, the storm god who brought rain and fertility, and Asherah, the mother goddess of nature and abundance. They believed these gods governed every aspect of life, from crops to childbirth. Temples dedicated to Baal and Asherah were scattered across their cities, often marked by carved idols and sacred poles, symbols that the Israelites were commanded to destroy. Yet what truly shocked the Israelites were the rituals themselves. Ancient texts describe offerings of animals, and in extreme times, even humans, sometimes children, were sacrificed to gain the gods' favor. To the Canaanites, such acts were the ultimate expression of devotion. To the Israelites, they were abominations that defied the holiness of the Creator. The clash between these two peoples, therefore, was not only about land, but about spiritual allegiance. The wars recorded in the book of Joshua tell of cities like Jericho and Ai falling before Israel's armies. But behind every battle was a deeper struggle, a test of obedience and faith. God commanded the Israelites to destroy Canaanite idols and altars completely, warning that if they allowed these pagan influences to remain, they would be led astray. Many times throughout Israel's history, that warning proved true. When the Israelites adopted fragments of Canaanite worship, disaster followed: famine, defeat, and exile. But who were these gods the Canaanites worshipped with such fear and reverence? El, the father of the gods, was seen as the creator of heaven and earth, often depicted as an old wise ruler seated beneath a sacred oak. Baal, his son, represented the cycle of life and death, the rains that revived the fields and the storms that destroyed them. Asherah, his consort, symbolized fertility and the endless renewal of nature. These deities formed a pantheon that mirrored the chaotic world around them, powerful, unpredictable, and demanding. For the Israelites, however, this worldview was a corruption of truth. They believed that behind the idols of Canaan lay deception, that the so-called gods were nothing more than false spirits seeking to enslave human souls through fear and temptation. The conquest of Canaan, therefore, became a sacred duty to cleanse the land of idolatry and restore the worship of the one true God. As the Israelites conquered city after city, they were not just claiming territory, they were claiming the right to live under divine promise. The Promised Land was meant to be a place of spiritual purity, free from the moral decay that had spread through Canaanite culture. Their victory symbolized more than military power. It was a testament to faith and obedience. Yet even after the battles ended, The legacy of the Canaanites did not disappear. Their influence lingered in secret practices, in forbidden idols hidden among the people, and in the ongoing struggle between faithfulness and compromise. The story of Israel and Canaan, at its core, is a warning, a reminder that the greatest wars are not fought with swords and shields, but with beliefs and hearts. Today, when we look back at the Canaanites, we see more than an ancient enemy. We see a reflection of humanity's eternal conflict between light and darkness, between true worship and false devotion. Their cities have long turned to dust, but their story endures, a story of gods that demanded blood, and a people who stood against them in the name of a higher truth. The battle for Canaan was not just about land, it was about the soul of a nation, and perhaps the soul of mankind itself.